What is up, Packers fans? Welcome back to another edition of the Daily Draft. I'm your host, the publisher of Packer Report, Ross Uglem, and today we are brought to you by Brewski Light Lager from our friends at Badger State Brewing. We are breaking down Ole Miss, Florida, all sorts of different places. Princely Umanmielen. We're going to go with Princely for the rest of the day. I looked up the pronunciation, Umanmielen, and that's the last time I'm going to attempt that because I might have butchered it. I'm reading the phonetic spelling, but again, we're just going to roll with Princely from here on out. Pros. He's got a great frame, even if he's lighter than Green Bay would normally be into. He is a highly explosive athlete in a straight line, both with like your vertical jump numbers and just your 10-yard split, and just watching him on film, watching him play football. He does corner well. He can dip, shows the hip and ankle flexibility to turn the corner, to run the arc at the NFL level, to beat a pass rusher, to use that linear explosiveness to beat a pass rusher to the corner, turn that corner, and go get the QB. And he uses that mobility that we have been talking about, that athletic ability, to be really, really effective on both twists and stunts. He sets the edge really well for a player who is 244 pounds. That's impressive to me because he's giving up weight. Even in the SEC, he's giving up weight at that weight. I mean, he's lighter than the guys blocking him by quite a bit and does a good job setting the edge. I thought his counter moves were much better in 2024 than they were when he was at Florida, specifically his inside spin. I think he is so prone to trying to bend the edge on these guys that you get to offensive tackles that would overset and boom, spin counter inside. It's not like it happened every game, but that spin counter inside was a nice thing to see as far as development from Princely, and something else that he could come at you with as far as an offense. He's a productive player who led his college program in sacks in each of the last 3 seasons. So those of you that aren't into these, traitsy defensive linemen, you want production. Well, 3 years in a row, Princely has led his college program in sacks. Also has a ton of reps in coverage, which gives him more teams that I guess could be interested. Green Bay won't care anymore. But if you're a 3-4 team, you can see that he has dropped into coverage. He does provide a little bit of that versatility. You can run fire zones with him. You can do, a number of different things. The Packers specifically won't care. It's not what they do anymore. What you should do is buy the Green Bay Draft Guide powered by Packer Report. All sorts of awesome stuff for you guys in there. We've got 225 plus player profiles, each with a Packers fit written by either myself, Jacob Morley, or Jacob Westendorf, 3 guys that understand what the Packers want to do, what they need, live, eat, and breathe at 365 days a year. So you're going to have that. You're going to have my 7-round mock draft. You'll have Packer people from Jacob Morley, which will really narrow the scope down. You wouldn't believe how many tier 1 fits the Packers have drafted over the last few years. Really brings that list of like 400 guys to 100. And you can sort of narrow in then based on team need, what the Packers could be looking at. Especially I've found in those top 150 picks, in that first 150 is when Green Bay is really looking to kind of do their thing. So pick that up. Use promo code DAILY for $1 off. Link should be in the description here on YouTube or on the podcast side if you're listening on audio. Okay, cons. Not excellent at converting speed to power. And I would say just in general, he doesn't play with the physicality that you would hope for from an SEC edge defender. Doesn't stack and shed super well in the run game, more of like an edge holder. He's going to set the edge. But as far as like discarding that blocker and going to make the play, not going to happen. You're going to have your linebacker make the play behind him because it's just not stacking and shedding isn't necessarily what he does, not a disengager. That lack of elite activity with his hands, I think, does extend to his pass rush. I wish he were better with his hands. I wish his bag were deeper. It's a lot of edge bending. It's a lot of counter spinning. It's a lot of trying to get to the quarterback kind of in the one way as opposed to, this is a technician. This is a pass rush artist. I would not call Princely a pass rush artist by any stretch. Injury concerns do exist. And then his agility numbers, to me, especially for an edge bender, his agility numbers are not what you'd like to see for a 244-pound guy who wants to burn the edge. Folks, head over to Badger State Brewing draft week. Did I just say draft week? I did say draft week. They've got stuff starting on April 22nd over at Badger State. All sorts of cool stuff. They got an old fashioned station, which I always get a kick of because they don't even make that liquor. That's just for all y'all guys to have fun and for people to really understand and appreciate Wisconsin culture. Speaking of Wisconsin culture, they've got vendors from all over the state that are going to be there. They've got food trucks, I believe, that are going to be over there. I think they're going to have live music. Going to have beers from all over the state, including theirs, which are awesome. Go check out our friends at Badger State and make sure to tell them that Ross at Packer Report sent you, because I'm not going to be around. I don't know how public that is. I'm not going to be in Green Bay. Not doing the live show at Badger State. They've got so much stuff going on, and it just turned out that it wasn't going to work. So I don't know how many people don't realize that I'm not going to be in Green Bay. Maybe there aren't very many people who care. But last year was super fun, so make sure that they know that we sent you. Packers Fit, very close on arm length, but way lighter than they have preferred at that 244-pound mark. You know, they prefer guys to be 260, especially in this Brian Gutekunst era of drafting edge guys. They don't care. I mentioned this before, but they don't care anymore that he can and has dropped into coverage. It's not generally what they do. I didn't look at like Gary and Preston and Enagbare and how many times they dropped into coverage last year under Halfley, but I bet it wasn't very many. Like probably single digits if they did it at all. They're just not that multiple 3-4 fire zone thing anymore. It's not what they do. And they're certainly not shy about SEC rushers. Like Enagbare obviously was from there. They've taken guys from the SEC at all sorts of positions. Devontae Wyatt was an interior rusher. They took him. Like they'll take a guy from the SEC. They're not worried about taking somebody from Ole Miss. They're not worried about taking somebody from the SEC. There are no fit concerns as far as, kind of where they look for prospects. Princely is from that area. Overall, he's got a second round grade for me, and he is my 54th overall player. I think the Packers actually pick at 54. I don't think they'll take him because I think he's a little light, but it would not upset me one bit. Folks, drink Badger State. Buy the guide. Go Pack, go.